Surprise, motherfucker.
Hey, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and today I'll be doing my Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist wish list and my banlist prediction list. Starting off with the banlist prediction, so let's get started. For the banned cards, I have Calamity because, that's pretty self-explanatory. Any card that essentially ends an opponent's turn right off the rip, especially in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually just straight up ban worthy. I mean, unless it's like a card like Dimension Barrier, because there are still options you could do even if you do get Dimension Barriered. And Harpy Trap, it's very specific and it's not really searchable unless you're playing Harpy, ladies. And Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, because this card could basically be special summoned to your opponent's field with other cards in the branded archetype. I mean, yeah, having cards that basically give your opponent monsters is pretty bad. It's pretty bad card design, but yeah, you can't really ban every card like that in the game, at least not yet. And Summon Limiter because I feel like this card is a bit degenerate. So I may argue that it only needs to be limited, but I would say it should be banned. But anyways, next for the limits, we have Brilliant Fusion because let's be real, no one's going to run the Predaplant engine just so they could get their one Brilliant Fusion.
For realsies!
I don't think people are willing to actually do that combo in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Plus, the only reason I can see this card staying, the only reason for this card to even stay banned would be the Gem Knight FTK. But this card is actually legal in the OCG, so I don't see why it shouldn't be legal in the TCG. One Snake Eye, one original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, because this card is kind of dumb. Because you could just send any face-up card you control and then just special summon any level 1 fire monster. That is really strong, and this is also what allows you to merge Snake Eyes with the Fire Kings. And it basically just, yeah, this card is just really dumb, is what I'm trying to say. And it also is a playmaker. At 1, it's fine, but at 3, it's a little too much. Kieran, because pendulums aren't really doing much of anything right now. Plus, what is Kieran gonna do in today's Yu-Gi-Oh? Fenrir, because honestly, this card should have been limited. I'm kind of tired of seeing Kashtira, and I'm sure Konami would probably be tired of this deck too. Because the thing about Konami is, if like a single card ends up being played in a lot of decks, which Fenrir does get played in, Konami has a habit of hitting those types of cards. Anyways, next, Bestial Druid Swarm, because actually, I don't even know why I actually had this on the list, so ignore that.
I'm kind of retarded.
Next, we have Kirin, because, yeah, I mean, Kirin's just really good. It's ridiculously good for the Fire King deck. And limiting it would actually hit the consistency of Fire Kings, but it wouldn't really outright kill Fire Kings. Since Fire Kings will still have a ton of playmakers, but it's just that they won't be as consistent if Kirin were to go to 1. Sacred Tree, Naturi's Sacred Tree, because, yeah, this card is definitely safe to come back to 3. I mean, this card was only a problem, and I put problem in quotes, when the Shizu cards were still around, but Konami rightfully banned 2 of them. Also, Red Rose Dragon, because Fibrax is banned, so I see no reason for it to even stay limited. And on top of that, Sword Souls got power crept. So yeah, there's no reason for this card to stay at 3. Same with Pankratops, because unlike Fenrir, it's not that easy of a special summon. Plus, it's a lot more fair than Fenrir, and can't really be played in every deck, but it is a strong going second deck. Going second card. Whoops. And lastly, the 3 Bird some more because, I mean, the barrier statue is gone, and what are you going to summon off of this? Your freaking Apex Avion? Yeah, I don't think you're really going to be playing this card. I don't think this card is going to be abused all that often. Then again, I could see it being abused in the future if Konami decides to print more powerful Wing Beast monsters. For the wish list, as far as banned cards, Appaloosa, because multiple negations are pretty stupid. Yes, Appaloosa is fairly easy to out, but two negations is already pretty bad, especially on one card.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Dragoons, I despise Dragoons still to this day.
Fuck you.
I still greatly despise this card. Hunter, because hand loops are cancer. Nightmare, because honestly, this is bad card design, but at the same time, I also blame the cards that basically allow you to special summon monsters like this to your opponent's field in the first place. The virus cards are annoying. Same with Summon Limit. I feel like this card is pretty degenerate, but at the same time, at the same time, I also wouldn't mind this card going to one either. For the limited cards, we have Meow Meow because I feel like it could come back to at least one. Carrier because if Wind Up Hunter is banned, this card could definitely come back. Zeus because you should never be summoning more than one per duel. Kashtira Arise Heart because weird unpopular opinion, I think this card is fair in quotes. Because it's like, how many decks can really abuse this card? It's only abusable in Kashtira, and even then, if you actually hit the consistency of Kashtira, they wouldn't be able to summon this card as easily. Plus, at 1 is also more manageable. Thunder Dragon Colossus, because Thunder Dragons have been severely power crept. I feel like they can get at least one Colossus back. But anyways, for the limited spell cards, Brilliant Fusion, because I feel like it should come back to at least one. 3 might be too much. 2, yeah, we can move it to 1 and then test it out at 2 later. Fluunderies and the Advent of Adventure, because I personally hate Fluunderies. Like the Snake Eye Sinful Spoils, I already explained it. It's pretty powerful as a nutty card. It should go to 1, in my opinion. Kieran is not really doing much of anything. Fenrir, this card is pretty stupid, and seeing it in every deck, I feel like it should be banned. And I feel like Konami would also, not banned, limited, and I feel like Konami would also have a very similar sentiment. Kieran, because at 1, I feel like this is a fair hit. Lubellion, because, yeah, this card is still pretty nutty. I mean, like, yeah, like, I feel like the deck got power crept, but I could easily see this deck coming back because Dragon Link always comes back. Kraken because hand loops are terrible. 2 Called by the Grave because I feel like 3 is too much and 1 just becomes sacky. 2 Trishula because 1's too little and 3 is too much. 2 is just fine. Sacred Tree to 3 because honestly, Naturia Sacred Tree wasn't really doing much, and it was mostly these Shizu cards that broke this card because of all the milling and stuff. Like, this card shouldn't have been limited in the first place, in my opinion. But at the same time, I could kind of see why they limited it because they didn't want you getting multiple searches off just because of these Shizu cards. But since they're banned, this card could definitely come back to 3. This card should have came back to 3 a long time ago. I'm not sure why it's still on the list. Pankratops to 3. Honestly, should come back. Samorg. Already explained it. And Ancient Fairy Dragon, because I don't see any reason it should stay at 1. But at the same time, it just recently got the errata. Anyways, it's been me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and tell me what you guys think about my ban list. And wait, also, like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys